World War I, a devastating conflict that marked the 20th century, is remembered mainly for its large-scale battles and the introduction of modern warfare. However, many details and curious facts remain in the shadows of the more well-known narratives. For example, tanks made their debut in this war, a revolutionary development in the art of warfare. The first tank, the British Mark I, appeared in 1916 during the Battle of the Somme. These early machines were extremely slow, difficult to maneuver, and prone to breakdowns, but their psychological impact on enemy soldiers was tremendous. Although rudimentary, tanks represented the future of mechanized warfare. Soldiers on both sides were unprepared to face these steel beasts slowly advancing across the battlefield. In addition to technological innovations, the war also saw the massive use of animals in vital roles. Horses were used to transport troops and supplies across the front, but perhaps the most fascinating use was that of messenger pigeons. In a conflict where communication lines were frequently disrupted, these birds became an indispensable tool. One of the most famous pigeons was Cher Ami, who, despite being injured in flight, managed to deliver a crucial message that saved a battalion of nearly 200 men. This little pigeon became a symbol of bravery and resilience in a moment of desperation. Far from the European battlefields, the war was also fought in colonial territories, particularly on the African front, a lesser-known chapter of the war. European colonial powers such as Germany, France, and Britain took the war to Africa, engaging in various battles across their colonies. This theater of war, although much less documented, was crucial for maintaining colonial influence during and after the conflict, leaving a deep mark on the history of the African continent. In the midst of brutality, there emerged a unique moment of humanity, the Christmas Truce of 1914. On that night, along several fronts, German and British soldiers temporarily laid down their arms. They approached no man's land, exchanged gifts, sang carols, and in some cases, even played football matches. It was a brief moment of peace amidst the chaos, where men remembered their shared humanity before the harsh reality of the conflict resumed. Lastly, World War I also left a lasting symbolic legacy, the concept of the unknown soldier. After the conflict ended, nations began erecting monuments to honor those soldiers whose identities were never known. One of the most iconic is the tomb of the unknown soldier in Paris, under the Arc de Triomphe. This monument symbolizes not only the loss of lives, but also the anonymous sacrifice of millions of men who fought and died without their names being remembered, but whose sacrifice has not been forgotten. These facts, some of them lesser known, paint a more complete picture of World War I, a conflict that not only changed geopolitics, but also transformed humanity's relationship with war, technology, and memory.